All right, 30 minutes, which includes setup and install. So if we don't get this installed in 30 minutes, that's on you. You curious about TypeScript? All right, we'll try it out. All right, and that'll take us right up to the next ad break. And then after that, we'll get IMGUI to work with Vulkan, online or via NPM. Okay, so with TypeScript. Yeah, see? Okay, let me see what version of Node I have. These dependency managers support lock files, ensuring that everyone on your team is using the same version of the language. Bullshit. Lock files don't actually work. And we have to use npx to run it. All right, well, I got to remember how to initialize a Node project, which I haven't done in a very long time. Hello. There we go. Okay, let's get this here, and we're going to go learn TypeScript. Oh my god, npm init. Creating a package.json. Oh wait, god damn it. Okay. That's fine. Version, cool. Description. Learning TypeScript. Right, it's coming back to me. Index.js. Sure, why not? Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Yes, that's fine. Cool. Okay, and then we need npm install TypeScript save dev. Do we still have to do save dev? I thought we don't have to do that anymore. Okay, one packaged and audited 2 package. 0 vulnerabilities. Right, sure. npm found 0 vulnerabilities. Okay. All right, we have TypeScript here, and then we should be able to do npx tsc. Nice, okay. All right, so it's installed. No emit b tsc. Okay, cool. So 0 known vulnerabilities. Oh, yeah. We gotta be correct. They also found no eagles in Central Park. If anyone studies statistics, they know what I'm saying. All right, TS for the new programmer. Our violin's so damn loud, man. Okay, so now I need to, let me see, let's do, let's do index.ts. Okay, so it's a TypeScript. And JavaScript equality coerces its operands, leading to unexpected behavior. JavaScript also allows access and processes which aren't present. The static type checker. Okay, so the last time I used TypeScript was a while ago, and I had to modify these stupid d.ts files. Like I had to do TypeScript's job for it, like adding all sorts of bullshit to secondary files. That was my big reason for not using it. So we'll see how this goes. Bald eagles are definitely not in danger anymore. I almost hit one with my car. Never seen one where I lived before, and this giant motherfucker was just standing in the road eating roadkill. This JavaScript code that you run in your browser will log value. Well, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's try this. Let's see what we get. Okay. MPX TSC run. Okay, so far so good. But let's change it to 1. Okay, so they don't have a run command, huh? So what's the end result of doing that? Index.js. Do that again. Did it make that? It did. So then I found that very hard to believe that they don't have a run command. Let's just see. They don't? The fuck? Okay. So it's only a compiler. It doesn't have the convenience of just run that shit. Okay, so let's do the init. Okay. All right, let's continue with the educations. Okay, so that's type checking. Tutorials, let's do that. What? Why is there an ASP.NET Core? The fuck? Okay, weird. Okay. The basics. Okay, now we're on something. All right. Each and every new value in JavaScript has a set of behaviors that can be observed from running different operations. First marble line of code, access a property, blah, blah, blah. Use message callable, does have to lower the, and so on. Only in lowercase. What about the second line of code? If you know JavaScript, you'll know this fails. Message is not a function, right? Okay. It'd be great if we could avoid mistakes like this when we run our code. Okay, so this is a sales pitch for type theory. Great, awesome. Okay, cool, we get an error. Awesome, I like it. Location does not exist on type. I think that's an error. This is sort of a thing that's kind of weird about JavaScript. I actually have to do this when I teach it to people. So JavaScript calls this an object, right? Oh, okay. Okay. However, I can also have a class person. And I'm not going to remember my syntax. What is it? I have no idea why Vim did that, but thank you, Vim. Weird. Okay, so then I can make and that's also an object. Okay, so I try to tell people this is a data object. They're the same, but they're actually different. This is a data object, so it's just a hash map, right? It's just a dictionary. But this has an actual type and is constructed, so it's a class object, right? And I think there needs to be that difference. So for me, this, I mean, fine. Okay, if I'm going to access something that doesn't exist, right? But I would rather have the type system work on this and then leave this alone. And instead what I would like is, I would like it, you know how within this object here, there's a whole bunch of junk that JavaScript has because it treats these two the same. So it treats that and that to be the same. So it adds to this very simple hash map a whole bunch of fucking class-oriented object shit that shouldn't be in there. So then you have all these problems where like people can accidentally run code that shouldn't be run and stuff like that, right? So what I would like from TypeScript in this instance is, yeah, all the same things. Location isn't in there, fine. It's just a hash map. I get a null, right? That's what I want. But I don't want any of this object shit. So if I do like dot some sort of like object-oriented programming thing, done. It's strictly just, when it's constructed this way, is strictly just a hash map. And then when they're constructed this way, they're strictly a type-based, and then if the type doesn't exist, it's considered an error. Yeah, I would say that's not a good design. What I would rather have is this. Okay, you can use that like a hash map, do anything other than hash map actions, error. This is a fully typed class. Use anything that's not specified in the class during the constructor. That is an error. Kevin, you're back from work? Awesome. Yeah. So anyways, let's try this out. User.location, and that will give me an error. Ola, can you new person? I mean, yeah, if you write it that way, you could. Let's see, coffee. I've never seen one up close either. They're also really huge, right? It wasn't white and black and bald. Would have thought it was a small deer. Yeah, they're very big. Yeah. What's TypeScript good for? Okay, so once you learn JavaScript, you're gonna run into all kinds of weird ass errors because the people who made JavaScript kind of misinterpreted a few things. And then also because it's not a type safe language. It has types, but it's not enforcing them. So TypeScript is going to be enforcing it. But you're going to get really strange things in JavaScript. Like, for example, my favorite. Oh, that turns into infinity. It actually converts it. Here. This. So JavaScript folks like to go, well, that's IEEE math. The problem is the IEEE standard that they're getting nan from doesn't say anything about dividing a number by a string. It's strictly just numeric operations. So if you did 100 divided by 0, right? Okay, IEEE standard, whatever that says, go for it. But if I'm dividing that, or if I'm doing like this, you're not in the standard anymore, don't do an and. So JavaScript is chock full of that crap. We're like, parsing a number. You try to parse an integer. Parse int that. Nan. Nope, that's not a nan. That's not in the standard. There's nothing about the standard about parsing integers. That's not a nan. And they use nan everywhere for an error condition when it does not fit the IEEE standard at all. And so they'll frequently be like, anytime you make fun of the fact that JavaScript's returning random nans all over the place, they'll go like, well, is it the IEEE standard? Like, nope. Half of the things that they use nan for are not explicitly in the standard. They're not mentioned in the standard. They have nothing to do with floating point math. Nothing like that. In fact, the IEEE standard that they're getting this from is only for floating point math. It has nothing to do with any other integer math. Right? So things like that, I hope, are fixed. Let's try this out, though. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can't exist. Location does not exist on type. Okay. So to fix that, you'd have to then do, if you wanted that to be like null by default, you'd do that. Yeah, okay. I mean, reasonable, but like, honestly, like I would consider that, because one of the things you frequently do is you load data and then things that are not set, because it's just data. So if it's not set, then, in other words, this makes it so you can't use these as a hash map. right? One of the really common operations is to just kind of set things as they don't exist. This means that you have to define it. What if it's like, it's not this, but it's a bunch of data of like locations to addresses or something. You can't use it that way. Unless, hold on. Does it bomb out there? Ah, okay, so that's what you have to do. So you can't do dot. The dot will give you an error. Okay, that's not too bad. That's pretty reasonable. I would still prefer it to be a little more loose than that. So if you need to do it hash map style, you have to use it hash map style, like that. Okay. To catch legitimate bugs in programs and TypeScript allows legitimate bugs. Well, it's catching it at compile time. You would still catch that at runtime, though. Uncalled functions? Oh, okay. I see what they're doing. Yeah, let's try that one. Oh, you know what we should try? Let's try forgetting to do await on a promise. Let's see what TypeScript gets with that. That's my biggest pet peeve, man. That should just be a regular JavaScript error. Yeah. Hold up. Let's do async here. Okay, and then down here, let's do x equals flip coin. Oh, and we have to return something. So return, let's return hello. Hopefully that doesn't get optimized out. And then let's do like 2 lowercase. And we'll do let, we'll keep it. Okay, so this is a mistake because this is an async, so x will be a promise and 2 lowercase doesn't exist. Let's see if it catches it. Huh? Am I just doing async functions wrong? It's entirely possible. It's been a while since I've done JavaScript. Yeah, I'm doing it wrong. Hold up. Let me find JavaScript. Look away. I know JavaScript. Oh, God damn it. All right, there we go. Oh man, it shouldn't even let me write that. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, it catches it. Nice. But honestly, that should just be a hard error in regular JavaScript. I think that alone would probably fix a ton of errors if it just did that. Okay, types for tooling. Also, where's these, there was like before, there were these like d.ts files I had to maintain. Have they gotten rid of that finally? No emit on error. And then we can give it explicit types. Okay, so let's try that real quick. Let's do greet. Then we should look and see if it catches errors inside the format strings. Okay, so then if we do greet what we did was add type annotations on person and date. Descriptive types of values can be called with. Oh, this song is so goddamn annoying. Excerpt Raylan. Async before function. Yes, I eventually found it. Okay, so that's going to tell us about other use cases where greet might have been called incorrectly. Wait, why would that be an error? Hold up. Not assignable to type of date. Calling date in JavaScript returns a string? Oh, that's right. Oh my god, man. It's like a language made of foot guns. No, that's C++. Okay, cool. And then I spelled, I spelled that wrong. An async function requires the promise constructor. Async? Make sure you have declared. Interesting. Wait. TypeScript can't do async functions? What? Wait, what? Wait, what? Hold on. Is that just a bad error message? It's using old-ass JavaScript? What are you talking about? I gotta do this bullshit, I think. Which is like one of the dumbest design decisions ever. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll have to sort out the async part of this. If I have to configure it to do async functions, that's terrible. That's really, really bad. Okay. Hold up. So then, what was this error message? Let's comment this out real quick. Hold up. Okay, and then when we call it, an async function or method in ES5 requires the promise constructor? What the fuck are you talking about? So is that effectively an error message that is done because I don't call await on it? If that's true, that's a terrible error message. That's awful. I think that's a useful feature. I would like to have it where like I have to explicitly assign it to a promise. Let me just confirm. What the fuck? That makes no sense, dude. I can't define an async function without some jank-ass promise constructor bullshit. Can I find global value promise? That error message would send people in a massive rabbit hole. I gotta figure out what this is. Hold on. If this turns into like some heinously stupid 8 years ago. This is an error message from 8 years ago. So you're compiling to an old problem. So you have to come in. Jesus. Well, who the fuck is compiling this to an old... Why are they doing it that way? That's really, really stupid. tsconfig. And we have to go and edit this. Oh, it has an error. What the fuck? Are they importing it? It's a JSON file. You can't have that in a JSON file. So the TypeScript init outputs an incorrect JSON file? Oh, the irony is oh my god, that okay, so let's do this. Do we go ES next? Wait, so what is ES next? Well, if the target is ES next, ES6, ES next. Wait. It's the next or upcoming version of X. So it should be targeting the correct one. Okay, so let's do ES 2020. And then I need the library for that. Why not just have that by default? Okay, so ES next, node next. I'm not targeting ES5. Oh, this is terrible. Okay, let's try 2020. All right, yeah. This is why I don't teach JavaScript, man, or TypeScript. Can you imagine, like, you're a beginner, you just run into this error, like how the fuck are you supposed to solve this? I'm over here, been using JavaScript since it's been out, and I'm like, I don't know what to fucking make this go away. ES5 requires the promise. Like, I'm not using ES5, man. It's been 10 years. Like, I'm not using a 10-year-old version of JavaScript. Nobody is. So why is this thing targeting this? You might skip TypeScript. I can see it being beneficial. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, but like the tooling is awful. And I'm just going to say one more time, Microsoft makes the tooling awful so that you'll use Visual Studio Code in Visual Studio, right? So they make the off-brand tooling really terrible. Like, you see this crap. But I bet if I set up a TypeScript project and Visual Studio Code, all this crap will be configured correctly and you won't run into this friction. That's their mode, man. They try to make things... They can't make Visual Studio Code easier. It's about as easy as it can get. So what they're doing now is they make other stuff harder. They make Vulkan harder. They make Python harder. They make, you know, running things like TypeScript harder. So the target is ES next, and it's clearly not. It's clearly not doing ES next, and also I'm not sure why it's including. Let's try types, and then npm install -d node. Okay, so then let's try and run it. That error message is trash. That's awful. Okay, so let's just confirm that's the fix. All they have to do is, one, they should just not default to a 10-year-old version of JavaScript. That's terrible. Let me just confirm index.ts. Yeah, it's still there. Okay, so let's do this. This won't work, but that was what caused that error. Yeah, so now it's fine. What the fuck? Why is it working now? What? Why is it working now? I don't. Oh my god, wait, hold up. Why? What? Hold on. First, that's wrong. That's a bad JSON file. What the fuck? Okay. What is going on? Okay, hold up. Hold up. What? Wait, this is the original config file. Why does the error go away? Okay. I had that error with that. Am I just going insane? What the? Oh, hold up. Package.json, not the lock file. Yeah, I had to add this thing, node types. Let's remove it. npm remove. Am I even getting that right? Types node. Okay, that's done. Now if I run it. Okay, so the error message is run this command. You don't have to edit the config, none of that. You just install the node types. It should just check for that and say, hey, you need the node types. Or when I initialize, it just be like adding node types. Oh my god, man. I'm only 30 minutes into this crap and it's already not ideal. This is a normal programming language. Can you call it a programming language? This thing? Yeah, TypeScript's a programming language. It's made by, I mean, I'll admit the person who made it is a very top-notch language designer. He did, wasn't it like, forget his name, but they bought Borland. So he worked on Turbo Pascal, Turbo C, then created C#, F#. Basically just all of the wonderful tooling and improvement to programming at Microsoft is because of that one guy. I forget his name, Henry something or other. So he created TypeScript too. Anyways, so that's 30 minutes of TypeScript, and already we ran into several issues. I can see the benefit of it, but again, it's the tooling, man. The tooling is just awful. I don't know why they're trying to bolt the language on top of an existing JavaScript instead of maybe making their own, but I don't know, whatever. Turbo Pascal's where you started? Delphi, that was the one, Adrian. Yeah, so the creator of this is a top-notch programmer. I don't want to say like they don't know what they're doing. But I suspect, like a language designer, you're not the person making the tools, right? So the tooling for TypeScript is terrible. Like if you look, that error message is not right, man. Like that error message should literally say run this command. It shouldn't be like, that's incredibly vague. I'm missing the promise descriptor, But that's very classic. Programming languages are totally like that all the time. Just bad error messages. It's just one of the things. I actually force people who take my courses to make errors so that way they can learn what the error messages are. All right, anyways. Advertising starting. I will switch back to doing Vulkan. So we're going to do Vulkan.